Is Haaland injured? Will he be available on Wednesday? How about all the games that have gone? Saturday, Friday night, 6 games to review. XG plots, average position maps, all the good stuff as we saw big hauls for the likes of Ekitike, Thiago also on the score sheet. No Wirtz, no Haaland. Van Dijk and O'Reilly still doing it. Dango came in and got points. So much to discuss on this morning's Sunday debrief. Do not go anywhere. This is my favorite stream of the week. For me, it's the best content I produce. I've got loads to get through in the next hour. So stay tuned. Get your questions in the chat. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I love the fact that Sunday morning we reach a slightly different audience. We get loads watching from the Far East and from Australasia, maybe some in the Americas as well as, of course, Europe. Hit me up with your countries and cities. I hope you're on big, fat, juicy green arrows. And if you're not, no worries. There's so much football to still be played on Sunday. We'll also, at the end of the show, go through the Sunday fixtures, get some predictions in. And I think we'll have a little look at my team, a nice early indicator as to what I might be doing ahead of game week 29. So welcome to so many of you. Freddie's in nice and early. He's had the kettle on this morning. Can we discuss Cartel Gate? We'll touch on that. DCL, third striker, says Kieran. Sean's in. Tony's in. Paul's in off. He was in the Wylands yesterday in Cape Town. Love that. Claire's in as well. I was going to say Claire in Derbyshire, but it's Claire. Derbyshire is her name. Zambia and Sweden as well. Guys, thank you all for watching. We're going to get started with probably the least interesting game straight away. I'm going to bookmark this. If you want to skip to Man City or want to skip to Liverpool and you're watching on catch up, you can absolutely do that. I'm only going to spend a couple of minutes on the first few games, and then we're going to spend a lot of time on the Man City game, a lot of time on the Liverpool game, because clearly we have to. Sigurd in the house as well. Good to see you back, May. So look, let's start with the Friday night game. Hands up if you own Morgan Rogers and you're disappointed. Yeah, me too. Guys, please do hit that like button nice and early, by the way. It massively boosts the channel if you help the algorithm by hyping, liking, and if you're new around here, please do subscribe. I was always going to sell Rogers, and last minute I decided against it. I just thought game week 31 fixture was too strong, and the Friday night game that I knew I was going to watch. I didn't fancy watching a team versus Wolves, the best attacker versus Wolves, and not owning him, having just sold him. Very quiet, very frustrating. Wolves, pretty even football match. In fact, look at the XG plot. When one went, the other one went. It was literally toe to toe, right? It was like a boxing match that went to a split decision at the end. You go, I go, you go, I go. You throw a punch, I throw a punch, and the XG just matched the entire way through. But Wolves did the good stuff. They had clinical finishing, and Cash and Rogers is in Reese's team. Wazza's got Rogers still trolling. I think we bench him for the next few weeks if we can. I'm holding Rogers because I have Man United and Chelsea for Rogers up next. I don't expect much. But then you get West Ham in 31. And in 31, it's an all right fixture, even for Rogers. So look, we're not going to spend a huge amount of time on this. I don't think we're buying Wolves players, although Mascaro is a really nice option. He offers goal threat. I don't think we're buying Villa. Are we selling them? Because of 31, we're probably not. But we can bench our Villa players. Fair play if you're on a good rank so far. 100k to 40k is impressive. Wolves have been improving so much. They really have been. It's just too little too late. And you know what? They're going to be so good in the Championship. And they've even had their recruitment in January for the Championship. They've gone and bought one of the best forwards in the Championship, Adam Armstrong. Always scores goals. Doesn't really get them in the Premier League, but they don't care. They know they're going down and they want the best number 9 in the Championship for next season. So, you know, it works. You can only hype the video after. Thank you, CH. I'm glad you've added that. Rogers has the average position, by the way, but Villa are a team not creating chances. Villa are a team certainly not scoring goals. And Rogers, he was brighter than normal, but he still didn't do a huge amount. They're missing their midfield. I say it all the time. No Kamara, no Tielemans, no McGinn. Sancho got the start. A lot comes through Matty Cash, but it's a lot of forward and backward and very little in the box. Disappointing. Watkins is so far off it. Rogers threaded a ball through to Watkins really early. And last season or the season before, Watkins probably tucks it away. He didn't even get a shot away. Defender blocked. Do I keep Gomez until 31? Yeah, you do. Always good for DEFCON as well. I don't want to spend time on this one. DEFCON, by the way, no one got it at Villa. Totti, Andre, Mosquera, Gomez all getting it for Wolves, and the bonus obviously went to Wolves players. I think we're going to skip this one. I don't think we need to dwell on it. Let's get to the good stuff, shall we? Let's get to the good stuff. Bournemouth, Sunderland. Bournemouth, Sunderland. This one was a good one. I bought in Rayan because I really fancied Bournemouth in this fixture. Sunderland had been on the ropes. Sunderland really impressed me. And I know the XG plot here doesn't look great for Sunderland, but I just want to say, like, I love an XG plot, but we have to take them sometimes with game state in view. So, yes, this looks like Bournemouth dominated the football match and were unlucky to win. I watched every single minute. I think 101 minutes. It was a lot of added time. After watching 101 minutes, I genuinely think it was a pretty even football match. So we shouldn't always go completely by the XG plots. The reason I think it was pretty even and game state dependent was Sunderland scored early. Sunderland are a team that once they score, they're very comfortable setting up shop, just going, hold out for the 1-0. And that's what they tried to do. And look, it didn't quite work, but they absolutely take that 1-1 draw. So Sunderland, the better team in the first half by some distance. And second half, they just had to park the bus. And it was a case of, can we keep a very good Bournemouth team out? A Bournemouth team that has a lot of attacking substitutions and fire off the bench. And I'm going to show you who came off the bench for Bournemouth. And this is really important when we consider who starts for them on Tuesday night. Shot maps were great for Bournemouth. Like, they did shoot. They got really frustrated at the end. Look at all those shots outside the box. What is there? About 12 of their 21 shots, over half, I think, from outside the box from 30 yards. One of them was from Rayan at the end, and it was on target, but blocked by a defender. I mean, we saw a lot of block shots and we saw some saves as well from Roves. Sunderland managed to get a couple of big chances. The one big chance they got, they scored the tap in. Tavernier played in midfield with Tyler Adams and Scott. Brooks came in on the left. But look at that right-hand side with Rayan. I still really like it. It's what we see from Salah. It's what we see from Saka. High and wide on the right. Little defensive responsibility. And he's become a 90-minute man. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Little Miss FPL. Thiago and Ekitike. Yeah, I can't wait to review the Liverpool game. Stay tuned for that. It is coming up. My point being, with these Bournemouth attackers, Brooks came off. Krupi came off. Tavernier came off. The one that didn't is Rayan. Now, I thought we might get an early sub and therefore go, yeah, he's rested him, ready for Tuesday night. Remember, there is a fast turnaround time for Bournemouth, and Iraola has a reputation of rotating when there's a short turnaround time. The fact he played 90, I think he probably does get the start on Tuesday. Now, Evan Nilsson also came on, got the goal, but came off. Clearly, that's an injury, right? Evan Nilsson wouldn't have ordinarily come off after being substituted on and getting a goal. If Evan Nilsson's injured, do we see Krupi again, number 9? Probably for 60. Probably for 60. Does Tavernier get 2 starts, having been out for a month? Maybe. He got 81 minutes. Tavernier does look like a good owner. I watched the game going, why did I buy Rayan? I bought Rayan because he's just a flair player and I know I'm wildcarding soon. But if you're looking for a longer-term pick, Tavernier is clearly the option. He'll tick along. He's on pens. He got the assist. He's clearly the heartbeat quite often of that team when he plays in central areas. And he's moved from wide forward to central this season, or after about 10 game weeks, I think it was. Clean sheets, yeah, you're not going to get too many from them, but you will get DEFCON, and Senesi did get DEFCON. Hill didn't, only 6, which is unlike him. But look, Sunderland just didn't do much second half, so there wasn't much to mop up. The Sunderland centre-backs, Alderete and Ballard, huge, 21 and 15. Obviously, no Madueke, but Gertruda comes in and he's such a good player. I don't think we're buying Sunderland players, so we're not going to dwell on their average position. Worth noting, Xhaka is now back and they look more solid. Robbie is out for 2-3 weeks. Mayenda got the start. It could be Isidore 1 week, Mayenda the next. I'd swerve the strikers. But defensively, they still look pretty damn sound, Sunderland. And you're gonna be fine if you invest in a Ballard, an Alderete, or a Roofs for the remainder of the season because they just like defending. Mukiele, not Madueke. Sorry, did I say Madueke? It's early. It's early. Hope you've got your teas and coffees, guys. I am delighted to be able to get through this show quite quickly today until we get to Man City and Liverpool. And I want to go into detail on analytics. I want to go into detail on captaincy decisions. And I want to talk a little bit about Cartelgate, which you may have seen on FPL Twitter. But also, more importantly, the Haaland injury. and Ekitike, is he the obvious replacement? And do you go there? Are we going to hear from Pep? I'm going to get to all of that in a minute. Let's go back to another game that was played yesterday. And actually, there's quite a lot of interest in this one. There is quite a lot of interest. Guys, I'm just going to check 1 second to see if you're... bear with me. Yeah, great. Excellent. Yeah, if you can, just want to see how many likes we've got. I'd love us to hit that like button if we can, but also please do subscribe if you're a newbie. I know we've got loads of newbies in today, so hit the subscribe button if you fancy, but let's crack on. Let's crack on. Where do we go to next? Yes, this was a big one, actually, because so many went and bought Thiago and so many bought Dango. And Brentford didn't really disappoint, did they? They went and got us 4 goals. So if you have gone for the double up, you're rewarded. Dango with 1 assist. From a corner, we didn't know Dango was on corners. We knew he sometimes took a few, but to see him on those in-swingers and then an early goal, Brentford scored 3 goals in 30 minutes, 2 of them from set pieces. Now, this is really interesting. This is really interesting. I want to talk a little bit about set pieces, and I want to talk about the... Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to think this is wacky. I listened to a podcast, right? This is a screen grab from Coyote's long throw. I listened to a podcast the other day on The Athletic. I think it's a football tactics podcast or something. And they spoke about the weather. And they spoke about Brentford and how windy conditions can really suit them because of their set pieces, i.e. their long throws. Michael Coyote takes the best long throw in the Premier League. In fact, I've never seen anyone take a long throw like Michael Coyote. It's not just the distance, it's the fact it's so fast and so flat. Remember, when you're taking a corner, the ball starts at 0 feet, it gets up to 30 feet, and it drops on someone's head at 7 feet. When you're taking a throw in, it starts at 7 foot, it goes up to like 15, 20, and it lands again at 7. It's flat, and that is hard to defend. That is much harder to defend. So, of course, that matters. But then combine that with the fact that there's a little bit of wind yesterday, that probably makes a difference and adds on another couple of yards. It's very rare from a long throw you see a goal from first contact. This goal was scored from first contact. Look at the header there, right under the crossbar. Coyote usually is that's falling 5 yards in front of him, and it's a flick on and then a goal, second contact. But Coyote here, missile-like. It's Rory Delap, best since Rory Delap for sure. I think it's better than Rory Delap. I was thinking him when I said he's the best. I think he's better. Now, what's really interesting, this is where it gets really geeky. This is where the podcast listen to comes into effect. Some grounds in the Premier League are windier than others. Stoke is actually the windiest in Premier League history. And that's why we say, oh, can you do it on a wet, cold, windy night in Stoke? And Stoke was windier before they renovated the stadium and filled in one of the corners. When they filled in, I think it was 2 of the corners, that season, Stoke got relegated. That's quite funny. But how many grounds in the Premier League have open corners? Open corners mean winds are more accessible in that stadium. You're probably going to get higher wind speeds at pitch level if the corners are open. Burnley, Turf Moor is one of those few grounds where corners are open. Now, yesterday, I don't know what direction the wind was blowing in Turf Moor, but I can bet you bottom dollar with this throw-in, it was going in Coyote's direction. Let me show you something else which is interesting. The average position map and pass map yesterday. They pretty much played on one side of the football pitch. Why? Now, I need to go back and double check this. I only saw this half an hour before coming on. I've not had time to fully research it. How often do they play through Rico Henry and Sharda versus Coyote and Dango? I would have thought ordinarily it's pretty 50-50. Maybe it's opposition dependent, depending on the fullback, and some weeks it's one or the other. Is it a coincidence that every goal kick went left, that everything went through Rico Henry and Jensen, who played left? Were they trying to win set pieces in that corner of the pitch? Because look what happened in that corner of the pitch. Michael Coyote, long throw, first contact, header goal. I just think it's an interesting observation. If you like my level of geekiness, then do what Justin says. Like and subscribe, peeps. If you think I'm bonkers and need to research it even more, then I will. Let me know. But I would be interested to know, were the winds blowing in that direction? Is that why everything went left yesterday? And if it did, it worked. This shows the granular level of detail of Premier League clubs. Now, please know, I don't want to have to check the Met office now for my FPL picks. Look, most Premier League clubs go way beyond the scouting, the level of geekiness that we would probably consider. But no one goes into that level of geekiness like Brentford. So look, of course they change ends halfway through, and this is the pass map of the entire game. But I just wonder if maybe this is like reflective more on the first half when Brentford had more of the possession. Because again, when you look at the XG plot, look at the first half, very dominant from Brentford. Second half, those pass lines would have been way weaker because it was all Burnley second half. So yeah, Alec does say they change ends at half time. It's a good point. But first half, look how much play they had. All their XG came in the first half. A lot of their passes came in the first half. That's kind of my point. But yeah, just thought that was really, really interesting. Regardless, Brentford scored 2 of their first 3 goals from set pieces. One was a corner, the first one. The third one was a throw-in. Set pieces matter. Brentford are better than any of it. They're also better at creating big chances. And shots close to goal. Only 3 of their 16 shots yesterday came from outside the box. 3 of 16. They don't really allow to shoot from distance. They never have been able to. Tony says, I think it's a good call. I'm glad you're with me there, Tony. I thought I might get a bit of a your mental Gianni reaction, but yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, so just having a bit of a sip of tea. We'll get to Virts, we'll get to Liverpool, Ekitike, Haaland, and City all in a minute, guys. Stay tuned. I want to keep on each game. Just for those watching on catch-up. So look, Burnley unlucky at the death not to get the equaliser, but the game, they were so bad in the first half. They were so bad in the first half. They didn't deserve to get anything from the game. Interesting that Damsgaard is now starting. I was shocked when Andrews went through a long phase of the season, dropping Damsgaard and playing Jensen as the 10. Yesterday, Jensen came in the middle of the park with Yarmouk, who sits really deep. I watched Yarmouk live earlier this season. I was super impressed by him, by the way. Didn't know his game, but he's very, very good. Igor Thiago got his goal. Dango got his assist. You might argue in a 4-goal game, you want more than one attacking return from each of those. But Sharda also getting points and Damsgaard awesome. Damsgaard's awesome. Is it not windy on Tuesday? Is Dango a sell? Look, Dango's not benefiting from long throws anyway. He's not the big beneficiary there. It's the centre-backs that are going up and winning those headers, usually, or Igor Thiago. So look, Brentford are awesome. Turf Moor isn't an easy place to go, although Burnley are. The floodgates have opened and their marking from set pieces have been shocking. But Brentford's still a very good team to invest in. I think you're very happy if you own a Brentford player, right? When you look at the fixtures moving forward, we like Brentford. You can still go and buy an Igor Thiago or a Dango. Remember, in 31, they play Leeds. They have a fixture. And then after that, if you're not wildcarding, it's Everton. Kelleher's not injured. His missus had a baby. He's not injured. He'll be available, I expect. I'd be almost guarantee he'll be available in the week. I'll be shocked if he's not. You don't get 2 games compassionate leave for a baby being born. Maybe a family death, but not a baby being born. So look, that's where we're at. We like Brentford very much. We can invest in them. I expect them to be a little bit better defensively. In the last couple of games, they've not been good defensively. Worth noting. Also worth noting, Dango and Sharda, both wide forwards coming off around the 70th minute. And again, I expect the same in the week. Lewis Potter is popular with the manager. He likes him. He's going to get game time. Bonus points in Defcon. Vandenberg, Defcon Beast. Damsgaard getting big point. And then look, Igor Thiago, in a game where there was 7 goals and 7 assists, and Thiago is only responsible for 1 of them, Thiago still gets a bonus point. Why? Because the bonus point system massively favours forwards with goals. As a midfielder, if you score a goal, I think it's 18 bonus point scores, 18 BPS. As a forward, it's 24. Or was it 22? Can't remember. It's more. As a defender, it's less. I think it's 12. It matters. And Thiago, as long as it's an open play goal, he massively benefits. A penalty goal, he only gets a 10 boost. So open play goals for Thiago, he's almost guaranteed bonus. Yesterday proves it. Okay, Brentford done. We're getting to the good stuff very soon. No one's buying Burnley, are they? By the way, Kyle Walker didn't play for those asking. Right, where should we go to now? Let's get to 3 juicy games. The BPS is messed up. I don't think it is because it's a forward's job to score. Therefore, they should be rewarded. Remember, forwards don't get the boost for a lot of the creativity points because they're not very creative. So midfielders can win out more for things like chances created because they create more chances. Defenders win more for tackles and interceptions and blocks. Forwards don't do that. So I actually quite like it. It was 32 metrics. I've always said it's based on 32 metrics and I like it. But over the last few seasons, they have made a few tweaks, like penalty is 10 now, BPS, which is a good thing. So I think it's probably more like 36 points now. 36 different elements to it. I love the bonus point system, if I'm honest. Newcastle versus Everton, and then we get into City, and then we get into Liverpool and my team. Thank you for joining me this Sunday morning, guys. I do these streams every Sunday morning. It's my favorite time of the week. Really is. Newcastle and Everton. I think many of us thought this would be quite a comfortable home win, didn't we? Newcastle had quite an easy Champions League game. Carabag ×2. Good at home. But look at this. Everton completely dominant. And the XG plot shows it. Yes, Newcastle scored early. But wow. It didn't quite. Everton scored first, then Newcastle, then Everton, then Newcastle, then Everton. It was like a bit like the game we looked at earlier where it was kind of you go, I go, but Everton got the big chances and then they scored their big chances. Look at those goals there, like big chance goals from Barry and Beto, which is what you expect, you know. Yes, G, the Sunday debrief is a great day. Good to be in, mate. Thank you very much. Everton, the big chance goals, we can see there. The 2 big dots right 3 yards from goal are the 2 goals, or 2 of the 3 goals. Some frustrated shots from distance. Look at the reliance on set pieces from Newcastle. 0.77 of their 1.18. 0.41 in open play is concerning. It's concerning for those that look at the fixtures and go, I might buy Anthony Gordon. Now, genuinely, if I could have afforded him, I would have bought Anthony Gordon this week instead of Rayan. He's now got Man United at home, Chelsea away. You could argue they're not 2 great games. In 31, though, Sunderland at home, Gordon will still be very, very popular because there'll be a lot of sellers of Rice. There'll be a lot of sellers of, who else? Sarr. There'll be sellers of Semenyo with no fixture. So, yeah. Gordon did play up front again. He went for Alango on the wing. Lewis Hall got a lot of touches, always does. Tonali having to play the Bruno G role. But look at Nick Woltemade. Nick Woltemade isn't just playing in midfield as a number 10 or number 8. He played as pretty much a number 6. He was so deep. I don't like it. He might muck up his chances of starting for Germany now in the Euros. In fact, I don't think it happens. He might even struggle to get in the squad as a number 9 if he's going to be playing as a DM every week. Pickford denied Tonali with an absolute thunder bee. An absolute thunder bee. And one of those shots on the edge of the box for Newcastle is at the death, a volley from Tonali, which was struck so well. Probably save of the season. To be fair. So, yeah, I don't think we're buying Newcastle probably until 31, and I think a lot will go there. Sunderland at home is a good fixture, given the fixture and the fact that there's a bit of payback there. They didn't turn up to the Derby at Stadium Light, but you massively expect them to turn up for the Derby at St James's. And Sunderland, they don't score many. Can we talk about Garner? He's so underrated. You know what? He's the same price point as Dewsbury Hall. And I looked at it and I bought Stack in the end. And I was going, why am I not looking at Garner? I'm looking at Dewsbury Hall. When I had 5.2 to spend, I think he's actually 0.2 more. Garner is on... Well, firstly, Garner's so good for DEFCON and so reliable for DEFCON. Dewsbury Hall got it yesterday, 12, Garner 13. But Garner pretty much always gets it. I think he's got the record this season for DEFCON in any given game. But he's also doing well in the BPS because he's pretty creative. And the set pieces are really good from Garner. He's also got a great shot from distance. However, if you like average position maps, like I do, I still look at it and go, Garner's quite deep. Dewsbury Hall's the 10. In open play, the threat is there for Dewsbury Hall. He got an open play assist yesterday, remember. I still think Dewsbury Hall over Garner just. Especially if you add in the fact that Dewsbury Hall can DEFCON. And yesterday was one of his first times he had DEFCONed all season, remember. You don't usually see that from him. So, look, impressive for Tarkowski. And Ndai, how many wide forwards get DEFCON? Well, McNeil got 10 and Ndai got 13. It's ridiculous. The pressing... the commitment, the energy from Everton. Fair play, David Moyes, because you've got Garner, Dewsbury Hall, both wide forwards getting DEFCON yesterday. Yes, you expect the centre-backs to get it, and they did. Tarkowski did. Mikolenko got it at left-back. Branthwaite got it at 10. But you don't expect McNeil and Dye, Dewsbury Hall to be getting DEFCON. That's 3 of your front 4. That's madness. And this is common. This is common. This is not a one-off point. This happens all the time. Thank you, CH. I'm going at a million miles an hour this morning. I'm pretty excited for FPL at the moment. Just probably because I've been having green arrows. It does affect my mood, which is a bit scary. I'll show you my team at the end of the show, guys. Stay tuned for that. Tonali, Newcastle's best player. And Hall, who's always brilliant. Are we buying Everton now? Are we buying Newcastle? We're waiting to 31. Everton entry point would be Burnley at home. And they do play in 31. Chelsea at home. It's not the best shout. Dewsbury Hall is the shout from the cheap players. Yeah, I think he probably is. Right. Let's get to the games that I've been excited to talk about. Let's get to the good ones. If you want more analysis, guys, on some of the other games, I will do that on future shows. But because we're fitting a lot of big talking points in today, there isn't the time. So let's get to those big talking points. First up, I tweeted this yesterday. Let's talk, before we go into the Man City game, let me just talk about analytics versus Grass FC and iTest. You guys know I'm an iTest manager, but that's not important here. I think there's an argument to say the best FPL managers combine the two. And I'm trying to use more data in my game. 100%. I've started to use clean sheet odds. I've started to look at XG in way more detail than I ever have before. And I hope it makes me a better FPL manager. However, there are a group of managers that are the Analytics Elite 64 that are the best analytic managers in the world. And fair play, a lot of those managers probably combine both. Some of those managers use the tools, the analytics tools, to support a decision they already want to make. And some of them completely swear by it, and 100% of their FPLing is just going with what the algorithm or the bot or the model says. They're effectively letting the model play FPL for them. They're not really playing the game. They're just clicking the buttons. They're not watching, whatever. Most analytics managers are probably somewhere in between those two extremes, right? Usually when there's a 50-50 decision in any community, such an obvious 50-50 decision, you would expect there to be a 50-50 split. And when I look at the Elite 64 managers, 64 of the best managers in the world, forget if they're analytics or grass, around 50% of them captained Haaland, and around 50% of them captained Bruno. Completely understand why. I myself, forget if I'm analytics or grass, I was I was so torn on it. I was so 50-50. Because I was 50-50, I expected any community to have that reflection. The reflection on the analytics community, the best 64 analytics managers yesterday, was wild. 54 captained Bruno and only 3 captained Haaland, 7 went Salah. I know Bruno had a higher projected points on FPL Review and Solio by half a point or whatever. And sure, that matters a little bit. But to have a split like 54 and 3 and what should be a 50-50 made me think not that they were getting insider information. I don't have that. I don't believe that. Yes, there was rumors of a leak, but I don't think any big content creator had that information or they would have said, right? I think from that 64 group, my expectation was that they used the tools to support their decisions. And yes, some of them do. And a lot of them do. But also a lot of them are clearly managing 100% of their decisions through the bots. 100% of their decisions through the model. They are not playing FPL in the same way I play FPL. But at the same time, there's no judgment here. We have to play FPL how we get fun from it. If you get fun from listening to a model and not watching football or looking at making decisions yourself and just clicking buttons, fair play. Like, these managers, a lot of them have better rank history than I do. My enjoyment comes from making my own decisions, which is why I've never even gone on to, I've genuinely never entered my team in a tool. I'll probably start doing that soon because I think it can support my decisions, but I've never done it. Just not how I've ever managed. Wild that so many aren't thinking for themselves. Really interesting. Let me know if you're team analytics or team iTest. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably more of an eye test manager because you want to see all the average position maps, the stuff, and you've watched the game and you want to back it up with a bit of data. I'm just so blown away by 54 versus 3 and what should have been a 50-50. Now, it turns out Haaland didn't even play. But that's irrelevant. This was important to discuss before we saw the outcome. The outcome wasn't important here. Bruno getting more points than Haaland wasn't important here, or vice versa. This wasn't say, analytics managers are better because Haaland banged. No, I wanted to get this tweet out there early. FPL Discomfort says he loves the drama. For those that don't know, the drama has been around content creators possibly getting information that Haaland wasn't going to be in the squad and therefore captaining Bruno. I don't see that at all. I don't think that happened at all. I don't think there is a cartel. Are you saying you've never used Fantasy Football Scout Team Player? I've never entered my team into it. Nope. And I'm going to start doing it. Next season, I'm going to. I've decided, like, this season, I've introduced more stats to my game. And look, I work with Fantasy Football Scout. They're amazing. I use Scout for so many things. But I've never put my team into a model. Ever. I go and look at Fantasy Football Scout's projections for points and for some of my players, but I've never put my team into it and gone, what decision should I make this week? What should my chip strategy be with this squad? Who should I captain? What benching dilemma should I have? Who should be my transfer in? They're the 4 big decisions that a lot of managers clearly have made for them, which I think is a bit sad. But if you enjoy it that way, fine. I think I saw 4 content creators who had the armband on Bruno on every day they posted in the week. Yeah, so many. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with going Bruno. Christ, I nearly did. And I don't believe that there was leaks and withheld information. I'm not having that either. But I do think there are a lot of managers, and I'm not even saying content creators here, just a lot of analytics managers that are living by the algorithms and making every decision by it. And I think that's a little bit rubbish. Like, you got to play FPL, right? Okay. Let's talk about the injury. Confession time. I asked Kate Moss for advice on my team, so we definitely used a model for advice. Well played, mate. Let's talk. Let's talk about Haaland. Pep's not going to tell us, guys. Pep's not going to tell us. Now, look, City play on Wednesday. That's important. We should still get a press conference on Tuesday. I don't think it'll be a Wednesday presser for Pep. It'll be a Tuesday presser. So before the deadline at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, we will get Pep being quizzed about Haaland. We're probably not going to get many training ground photos. City are off today. They will train tomorrow. We might get some training pics. There is a training session for City on Monday. Of course there is. They'll train Monday, Tuesday. We might get some training pics. We might get Pep being clear, or we might get Pep saying, I don't know, it's going to be a late fitness test. Same with Nico O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly went off. He's also now flagged. He rolled his ankle. I want info on both these players. Now, if you are keeping Haaland, regardless, I get it. You got money in him. You got a good enough bench to cope. You've already got Ekitike and Thiago in place. If you don't own Ekitike and you don't own Thiago, there is going to be a huge temptation this week, if we don't get an update on Haaland, to make that move. What are you doing, guys? Have you made your mind up with what you might do? I have polled it. I don't know what the poll outcome was. I don't know if the poll is still up. I can't see it. Someone let me know. What are you doing with Haaland? Perhaps CH, or Kieran, you can let me know what the results are on the poll if it's there. What are you doing with Haaland if we don't hear? Knowing he doesn't play in game week 31. Remember, the City fixtures, let's look at them. Sure, he could be back for West Ham in 30, but he doesn't play in 31. You'll be benching him anyway. You can buy him back in 32 in your wild card, but you'll lose a bit of money. I think a lot will do that. And it means no Haaland for West Ham, which is a bit rubbish. But it is West Ham away, not West Ham at home, which is different things. I think there'll be a lot of sellers unless we see him training. If we don't get news and it's vague, there'll be a lot of sellers to Ekitike. And I completely understand why. Let's look at Ekitike's fixtures in a second. Well, we'll do that now. We'll look at Liverpool in a second. But Wolves, Tottenham, Brighton, Fulham, and they play in 31. Yeah, a lot are going to be making that decision. So the answer was, what are you going to be doing with Haaland? Was it yes, keep him? Oh, yes, I'll be selling him. Maybe I'll be selling him 29, and 46 saying, no, I won't be selling him. I'll hold no other obvious striker. Yes, but if half of you are going to be open to selling him, that's massive. That's massive. And against West Ham, those that keep him, they've got themselves a huge differential. amongst the community if you captain him. Now, is he the obvious captain in 30? Bruno Fernandes plays Villa at home. I think he'll get a lot of love. But West Ham away is going to be a real tempter for him too. I remember not captaining him against West Ham away once, a couple of seasons ago. And I think he got a few points, but he missed something like 2 XGs worth of chances. He was all over him. And I remember thinking I got away with one. Never again. I'll probably captain Haaland if I own him in 30. Let's see. Let's see. So, how did City play and did they look short without Haaland? Yes, but Leeds is a tough game. I mean, City didn't do anything, really, like for City, in the first 35 minutes. That is very slow for City. They usually come out the blocks quite well. First half, they did nothing. But at the end of the first half, Semenyo gets the goal when it changes the game. Leeds did nothing in the second half. It was a cliche to say it. It was a game of two halves. All Leeds first half, all City second half. And City did really well with big chances. They did really well with open play at the end. Nico O'Reilly missed one of those big chances with a header. It could have been another monster haul for O'Reilly. If he's fit, I still think he's a great buy, despite not playing in 31. Look at the average position map. With no striker, what did they do? Many will think they played Omar Marmoush central down the middle. They didn't. They played Ryan Cherky as a number 9. Who dropped deep a lot, it must be said, and he had runners Marmoush and runners Semenyo. And for the goal, you'll see an amazing pass from Cherky through to Aït-Nouri. The pullback then comes, and it's the Semenyo goal. And that's a Pep Guardiola goal of 4 or 5 years ago. Cherky as De Bruyne, Aït-Nouri as Sterling, right, or Sane, cutting it back for a tap-in at Aguero. It was Semenyo. But they missed him. They missed the focal point, and they played effectively a false 9. But look, Rodri's playing really well again. Bernardo Silva and Rodri are playing close to each other, but it's only one. It's not a double pivot. It's Rodri holding, and it's 2 number 8s. If O'Reilly is injured, the only number 8 that can come in and play that role in a similar way, for me, is Reinders. And it was Reinders that came on yesterday. You can't go and put Foden in that role or Cherky in that role. There's a big defensive responsibility for Bernardo Silva and Nico O'Reilly, and you're going to see it, Reinders coming in if O'Reilly's injured. Maybe if you want a 1-week punt, Reinders is your guy. But thank you to all those just joining. You'll watch later and catch up. Yeah, do catch up. We got through some good stuff. We've still got Liverpool to come. We've still got my team to come. And we're going to talk about today's fixtures, so stay tuned for that. Silva's a class player, so underrated. He can play any position as well. He really can. What happened to O'Reilly? He rolled his ankle. It didn't look great. He rolled his ankle. He did play on, but he went off 5 minutes later. City play Wednesday, which is good. It's an extra day's rests. A lot of teams are playing Saturday, Tuesday. It's a home game versus Forest. I'm really hopeful he plays. It's probably 50-50 at the minute for both Haaland and for O'Reilly. In terms of Leeds, Leeds are great. Leeds are great. Stack got 10. Remember, he needs 12 for DEFCON. I bought Stack in, and the average position with Stack was good. Happy about that. Look where Stack is playing. Stack is known as quite a defensive-minded box-to-box midfielder. He's playing in a front 3 at the minute, and that's part of the reason why I've bought him. He'll come in and play for me against Sunderland this week, and then again in 31. I think Stack's a good buy. And then Rodon, Goodmanson, Strike, Justin, Bogle, that back 5's working well. It looks like 2 right-backs every week, and it really is. Like, Bogle and Justin... It's weird. Some weeks it's a back 3 and Justin's the right centre back, but steps into midfield. And then Bogle's a right wing back and Goodmanson's a left wing back. And it's often a back 5. This looks like it was a back 4. It's actually a back 5. I roll my ankle many times, always 10 times worse the next day. Yeah, good point. Morning G, Neil Robertson in the house. One of my highlights of the week this stream with the cozy latte. Neil, I'm hoping you enjoyed the analytics versus eye test, but also versus the withholding information cartel chat. I bet you love that drama. Neil Robertson, former world snooker champion in the house, ladies and gents. Privileged to be in the company of one of the best in his class. To have any sportsman who's top of their game in the world is pretty impressive. So Neil, one of the best snooker players in the world. Awesome to have you watching the channel, mate. Thank you as always for supporting as you do. Is it oat latte or regular cow's milk? I've got my tea today with almond milk. I've got almond and oat in the fridge, but I fancied almond this morning. Went a bit crazy. All right, so Liverpool, West Ham. I saw the score. I didn't watch this. 3 o'clock kickoff. I've watched the highlights. I thought this was going to be a really one-sided football match when I saw the score. I looked at the XG and went, oh, okay, West Ham are actually all right, and Liverpool still look quite vulnerable defensively. They've conceded over 1 XG to West Ham at home, and they're not as solid as we thought they might be, moving towards quite a solid, I've had my Huel already, quite a solid foundation, which is why so many are buying Van Dijk. Obviously also buying Van Dijk because of the goal threat. I think he's had something like 5 goal involvements in his last 6 games across all competitions, 3 goal involvements in his last 3 games in the Premier League. Now, are you buying Ekitike? Let's do a poll, shall we? I don't know why, but I can't see the poll. So I can't cancel the poll and set up a new one. Why is that? Where are you, poll? Oh, no, there it is. There it is. End poll. Just needed to scroll up. Right, let's do a poll on Ekitike. Will Ekitike be in your game week 29 team? Yes. Yes, but only if Haaland is confirmed out. And then no. The Haaland bit, I think, adds quite a lot of spice to this question. Get voting. I think a lot will be buying Ekitike if Haaland's out, clearly. But there's a lot that are going to have a plan for Ekitike regardless. Do you have 2 free transfers? Can you go João Pedro to Ekitike? Will you consider going Igor Thiago to Ekitike? Personally, I wouldn't make that move. I'd be keeping Igor Thiago and finding a different route to Ekitike. I think I've got the dream front 3 at the moment. I've got both with Haaland. Let's see. Get voting. A lot are going to own him. Remember, his ownership at the moment is pretty damn low for the community and in general. I think it's about 25-ish%. We're going to see a very popular Van Dijk as like trajectory as well. Liverpool's fixtures coming up. Let's discuss. Wolves, Tottenham. They do play in 31 against Brighton. Good game. And Fulham. Homes against Tottenham and Fulham. Yeah, we like that. We do like that. 777 of you watching, by the way. Thank you for hitting the like button, and thank you for hitting that subscribe button this morning. If you've enjoyed the show in any way, shape or form, that's the best way to show support. If you're watching on catch up, drop a comment and I will respond. I know you don't get the live chat, but if you've got a question for me, I'll answer it in the comments. It's easier to answer a question in the comments than a question in the live chat. Of course it is on this particular show. So plans for Ekitike, do we need him? He gets the goal. Really well taken, near post effort. Striker's finish, but he gets 2 assists. Bit lucky, you could say, like McAllister's got a lot of work to do and he's teed him up and it's a good finish. But Ekitike has been missing big chances galore. He has been due. He's going to get a ton of chances in the next couple of weeks. The fixtures are too good not to. Does Ekitike get chances versus Wolves? Absolutely. Villa created quite a lot against Wolves, even though they didn't score. Villa don't create much at all. Tottenham at home, dreamy fixture at Anfield. Brighton away, always give you chances. Fulham at home is probably the hardest, actually, but I still expect them to create. Again, Anfield factor. At Anfield, there'll always be XG there. Over 2 yesterday. Shots galore. 18 shots to West Ham's 11. Quite a lot on set pieces, to be fair. 0.84. Virgil's goal, a big chance scored there. That's that near post header. Virgil's so good at that. But Liverpool don't have Wirtz. As soon as Wirtz is back, and he could be back in a week, we don't know. As soon as Wirtz is back in, that Liverpool team gets even better, and Ekitike gets even better. Yeah, I just think Ekitike is somebody you're going by right now. Salah, by the way, it's painful if you own him. If I owned him yesterday, I'd have been considered captaining him. No, I mean I wouldn't have owned him. I just think Salah's a non-event, and I've been saying it for months. This Liverpool team, we said it at the start of the season with the transfers. Before we even watched them play, we said pre-season, is Salah going to be worth the price, or are they going to have to... Let me say it again. We said, is Salah going to be worth the price, or does buying Isak and buying Ekitike and buying Wirtz mean the goal share for Salah is going to reduce? We all speculated because of the transfer business. We then speculated even more because we started watching Salah play and we all went, is it the new contract and not as good? And has he lost a yard? And then we speculated even more when we started seeing Wirtz and Ekitike getting the points and getting the goals. Watch the games. This isn't Salah's team anymore. He's not the talisman. I wouldn't say he's a problem yet. I still think he's contributing in a way that's useful and he's going to get some points. But boy, why would you pay so much for him? Especially if it means it blocks you from owning an Ekitike or a Viet when fit or even a Soboslai. Like, Salah is so expensive. Next season, if he's in the game, he's going to have a huge price drop. Salah has scored his last Premier League goal. Guys, guess the game week. How many weeks ago? Just guess. Like 10 weeks ago, 11 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. When was his last goal? This is mad. That can't be right. It is right. Wow. 9 weeks ago, FPL problem 20, game week 30. Guys, he hasn't scored in 18 rounds. Game week 10. Game week 10. Yeah, he's had some assists, but Christ. Yeah. Soboslai playing number 10's great for him. For Liverpool, you probably want Wirtz in that role and you want Soboslai out as a box-to-box 8 maybe. But Gravenberch, McAllister are playing really well now too. So it's actually a little bit of a headache if Wirtz is fit. He probably ends up playing Wirtz on the left for Gakpo because Soboslai is playing so well as the 10. Soboslai, Liverpool's best player this season, in my opinion, consistently. And you get the set-piece threat. His delivery is so good. And Van Dijk benefits from that header. But Ekitike is clearly a buy. Salah is clearly a sell. No, if you own him, you're probably keeping him because of the fixtures, but just don't go and buy him and don't captain Salah. Defensive contribution, Jarrod Bowen. Bless him. He's so good and he deserves better. But yeah, he works his socks off clearly. Virgil with the 8, Konate with the 9, both missing out. McAllister with the 11 missing out. Getting it, West Ham defenders though. Diouf, Mavropanos gets it, and Bowen gets it. Yeah, useful. Let's talk about the fixtures coming up though, shall we, today? Because we do have some useful fixtures today. And you may have noticed today, I'm going to show you my team in a minute. Stay tuned for that. Keep voting in the poll, by the way. The Ekitike results are, 62% will own him. They think a lot will be going from Haaland. Now, to help us with the fixtures today, I want to suggest something to the 792 if you're watching now. A game, okay? You've seen, for the last hour, if you've been watching, Sport Exchange Market on the right-hand side and the QR code there. Guys, I get approached a lot from football games to promote their products. You don't see me promote them. You don't see me promote football games that have crypto or gambling, or I only play FPL, UCL, fantasy, and fan team, right? There's a lot of football games out there, just not for me. And if they're not for me, I can't promote them to you. This is a game I've been playing because it's not crypto. It's fake money. It's fun. And more importantly for me, it's a simple game. It's the stock market for football. It's brilliant. And you get free money and you play completely for free. There's no add-ons for crypto and NFTs and all of that. Now, help me predict the games today when I play this game. If you want to, scan the QR code or click the link in the description as I'm doing it, do. If you want to hear me out first and then decide if you want to check it out, do. So, let me show you. First and foremost, right? Free prizes to be won. Awesome. Good prizes as well. Again, you do not pay to play this game. I cannot stress that more. It's a completely free game and there's no crypto element. So, this is the league table. Ignore the money at the moment. The league table. This is the top 10. How do we feel about it? Which teams in the league are out of sync? Which teams are going to start overperforming? Which teams might I want to start investing in if I've got free money and I'm on the stock market? We can see, example, Chelsea, to buy a share, 67 euros. To buy a share of Arsenal, 112 euros. If Arsenal win today, their share price goes up. If they lose today, their share price goes down. You are buying and selling based on the actual results, not just in the Premier League, but when Arsenal play Champions League. I think there's a few fake positions here. I think there's teams that will do better and teams that will do worse. I will never be investing in Aston Villa at that price, for example. What do we think of the table? Let me show you my portfolio, right, in a second. Now, if you like the look of this, you are not... this doesn't seem legit. Share prices. No, it's completely legit because it's free. It's made up, right? You're not actually buying stocks of Man United. You're buying fake stocks of Man United. but they go up and down in price, and you compete with your mates on a leaderboard to win free prizes. Okay? So look at the bottom of the table. The share price of these clubs is cheaper. But if you think Crystal Palace or Brighton are going to go on a really good run, getting them at £40 per share, investing, and then selling them a few weeks later after they've got 9 points from 3 games, then you sell and you sell for more. Spurs, absolutely. Yeah. So if you think Spurs are going to go on a run, go buy them now. Let me show you my portfolio, right? My portfolio. So Nottingham Forest. I invested in Nottingham Forest because I thought they were going to go on a good run, and I thought European football helps them. Rubbish. They've been losing me money. Since I've purchased them, they've been down 8%. We can see here, I've got 100 shares invested at a price of around 6,500. You start with 10,000. I've got 3,000 in the bank. Great. Forest, disappointing. I have, however, invested in Newcastle and I've had a 4% increase, 3.7% increase. I've got 10 shares in Newcastle. Now, these teams play today, of course. Teams playing today also matter. So let me look at the teams playing today. I would sell. Do we think Brighton beat Forest or Forest beat Brighton? Who wins? Forest or Brighton? I think Forest beat Brighton. I don't. I think Forest got a chance of beating Brighton and I'm willing to risk it. So I'm keeping my shares in Forest. Who wins out of Fulham Spurs? I think Fulham win. Yeah, you guys think Brighton win. Yeah, Forest 2-0. I think it's going to be a close game. Let's do Fulham. Let's do Fulham. You can see here, I own Fulham stocks, 10 shares. They've lost me money already. But do Fulham beat Spurs? 2-0 Fulham, says Mr. Gunner there. Do Fulham beat Spurs? I think they do, and their share price is going to increase. So I'm going to back them. Man United Palace. Again, I own Man United shares. I'm going to invest there. I own Arsenal shares. I'm going to invest there. But it's not just for the Premier League, guys. Look, like I own Man City and I own Man United. Great. If they win, they go up. If they lose, they go down. I might want to keep them as a long-term hold, or I might want to just play each game. But look, Serie A too. Inter Milan, they've lost me money because they went out the Champions League. Big. But Atalanta won their Champions League game, up in money. Fiorentina, they dead and buried this season. It looked like it, and they're on a climb. Really cool. You're not investing in a player here. You're investing in a team. Let me tell you my FPL team in a minute. But if you want to invest in a team, guys, and you want to play this game, and you want to buy for free and sell for free and win, have a chance of winning, awesome prizes, give it a go. Scan the QR code on screen. This is not betting. This isn't fantasy. It's not crypto. But it is a way of competing with your mates and investing in football clubs for fun. I love this game. I've genuinely been playing this game for weeks. FPL Stockbroker G. If you like the idea of this game, give it a go. Give it a go. So look, yeah, link in the description, QR code on screen. I think it's awesome. And you know what? There's teams in here. I look at the top of the league and I'm like, oh, are Brentford going to keep winning games because their fixtures are good? Look at the fixture ticker for Brentford, right? Brentford, who are they playing next couple of weeks? Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds and Everton. That is a 4-game run. I'm like, oh, that's a long-term hold. Even if they lose to Bournemouth, I think I keep them because they get Wolves, Leeds, Everton. I think Brentford can win 3 of 4. And if Brentford win 3 of the next 4, where are Brentford going to be in the league title? They're going to be better than 7th. They're on 43 points. Chelsea 45, Liverpool 48. Brentford going to have a boost. Their share price is going to go up. Invest in Brentford stocks at €57. Yeah, I'm going to go buy Brentford today. That's what we're doing. If you want to play with me, big chance, Brentford, exactly. Then scan the QR code and sign up. It's free. There is no paid for element to this game. I must stress that. It's not like you're going to sign up and then play for free and then be asked to pay to play. It's not that game. It's a free game with none of the crypto, none of the extras. Anyway, I hope that's been clear. I'm going to talk about this game quite a bit on Sunday Debrief because I think it links to the football. I think it links to the Sunday games. I think league table is interesting discussion. We'll give that a go. Let me know, and you can let me know how you're getting on and what your portfolio price is. You start with €10,000. Right. My team. O'Reilly came in for me. Hope he's not injured. Van Dijk came in for me. Thank you for the 7 pointers. They keep doing it. Very, very, very happy. Rogers blank, Rayan blank, slightly disappointing, but today I've got a lot in action. Raya, Gabriel, Rice, 3 Arsenal players, and I think I'm quite happy with 3 Arsenal. I know, look, I think Arsenal beat Chelsea. Simple as. Bruno Fernandes captain, everyone's going to have him now, all the vice captain from Haaland. But happy days. Happy days. I should end on a green arrow. I got Maguire off the bench. I didn't feel comfortable benching Maguire anyway. 147k in the world. If Arsenal play well and Rice plays well, 58% owned at my rank. If Maguire goes and gets 6 points plus, and all of those things happen, I've got a very good chance of 100k. That'd be cool. Not been in the 100k all season. Thank you so much, CH. There's 51 likes to go. Get your DNA on the... I love that, on the like. Thank you, CH. Get your DNA on the like. I had Virgil Vice. Oh, okay. Interesting. I think I'd take 7. For vice captaincy. Guys, who is your vice captain? Let me know in the comments in the chat. Have you all defaulted to Bruno? Or did someone go Ekitike? Did someone go O'Reilly? I mean, Ekitike, huge. 15 points if you had him as vice captain. Guys, I didn't even consider it. Kind of wish I had, but I didn't even consider it. Guys, loads on Thiago. Thiago vice. Interesting. Lots on Thiago vice. Do you take 6? Okay, Thiago vice captainers. If you were given the option of moving to Bruno now with 6 points on Thiago, would you move? I think I would hold. I think 5 I would move, 6 I would hold. A lot on Ekitike vice. Man, that is awesome. I'm delighted to see that. A lot on Ekitike. Wow. Huge win. I thought you were all on Bruno like me, but clearly not. Loving that, guys. You'd move for 6. I don't know if I would. Guys, I will get my early thoughts video, my team section video out first thing tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that, maybe even tonight. Give it a go. If you want something to do Sunday morning, honestly, try this game. I wouldn't be promoting it if I didn't love it and play it myself. It's awesome. You're buying and selling. It's free money. Scan the QR code, click the link in the description, hit the buttons on the way out, and I'll see you very soon for another video. I hope you enjoyed the Sunday debrief. See you next week. Bye-bye.